Hello everyone, this is a stat maxing guide for Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII. This was done on the PC version, but it should work on console. The only difference is perhaps longer loading times. This run is meant to achieve max stats as efficient as possible. So this shouldn't be used as a guide for anything but that, like gil farming, ability farming, any of that. This is purely for reaching max stats and what I believe to be the most optimal way. I would recommend before stat maxing and Lightning Returns that you've already completed the game 100%, so you've done all the quests, you've farmed out your abilities, everything that you wanted to do, gotten all the schemata, weapons. You've done all your farming and put in as much play time as possible. So that way, when you actually go for stat maxing, you're really minimizing on the time you need to spend doing this. So I'll get into the math of stat maxing a bit later, but first I just wanted to show a full run from beginning to end. So essentially the most optimal way to stat max in this game is to continually reset the beginning and complete, the first few quests, and that'll get you the most amount of HP, strength, and magic in the shortest amount of time. So I'm going to have a timer here, just to show how long my run was. I do want to mention that I have limit break on in the settings, and that's mainly to make the battles go smoothly. So start out, put it on easy. There's no difference between any of the difficulties. Might as well just put it on easy. It doesn't really matter. You're going to be one-shotting everything at this point anyways. And we're on our way. It goes without saying, skip every cutscene and dialogue you possibly can. So we're going to start off getting the initial quest from the Inquisitor here. And this route I take here I felt was the fastest. Just making a circle around the area, talking to all the people you need to. Going to pick up this quest. Where are you, Holmes? And again, since this is purely stat maxing, just ignore all the items and everything. Here we're going to talk to Holmes. And it's important here, you want to walk back to Thornton. If you run back to him, he might not be far enough, and then you'll just trigger a dialogue as if you didn't finish the quest. So you just want to walk back to him. So that's that side quest complete. Make our way back to the Inquisitor. And now we are going to rest at the inn till midnight. Make our way over here and make sure you fight the one with the exclamation point over the head. I like to use a big AoE magic spell here. Just nuke them. Now we're making our way to the graveyard. So it's important to manage your stamina as you're running. You never want to fully run out. So just make sure before it runs out, you're making sure it refills. I don't know, just try to have fun with it. Try to optimize every movement. Time yourself, see how fast you can get. At least it's some entertainment while, you know, you're grinding this out. I recommend a lot of music. Here we're making our way to the Born from Chaos side quest. And we're just going to complete this. If you can get a preemptive strike, works out really well. Easy one shot. Make our way back to Solandra and finish that off. It's important to note that I'm not gaining any stats from this, and that is because I'm already stat maxed. So once you're stat maxed, completing these quests only give you gil. Now we're going to complete the Soul Seeds quest here. You just want to grab one seed and make your way out. And preferably, don't get attacked. I lost like a couple seconds there. After that quest, we are going to make our way to the train station and travel to the Dead Dunes. Make sure you avoid all enemies. It goes without saying though, if you do want to add in some item pickups or anything extra in this run, it's fully free to do so. Unfortunately, you will have to sit through this every single time. All the new destination available prompts. That seems like it takes a good 30 seconds. Here in the Dead Dunes, you really want to optimize sand surfing. So when you're surfing down a surface, you gain your stamina back, but you're essentially moving at a running speed. So if you can get some good maneuvers, you can really run through here pretty quick and not lose stamina. Like here's a long one here. This could be a tricky jump right here, but it'll save a couple of seconds. Make sure you activate the Cactuar statue. Very important. We'll be using that to teleport here later. Every second matters when you have to do this run about 170 times. Pick up the Pilgrim's Crux. So this is one of the prerequisites of doing this max stat run, is you want to have this last one side quest completed. It persists through playthroughs. So essentially, you just auto-complete it. You get a ton of stats for doing so. And here we finish the last one side quest. So you might be tempted to fit in some of the extra quests in the Dead Dunes. And the important thing is to maintain a balance of stat gain. You're essentially only as fast as your slowest stat, which is magic. So doing the extra quests and gaining more strength or HP isn't really that optimal as it may seem. So after the last one side quest, we teleport to Ruffian and talk to Adonis to pick up the quest. And now we are going to teleport back to that Cactuar statue we activated earlier. For this fight, I like to hit the Gurren Gatch with a deep protect, then just wail on it. That way you don't have to worry about staggering him or anything. At least with PC load times, it is definitely faster to just teleport right back to Ruffian. Talk to Adonis and finish the quest off. And that's it. We're gonna go to the inn, rest till the day's over. And when we get back to the Ark, talk to Hope about side quests. And then we're going to restart. And that's the full run. So here I'm going to show some of the math of it all. I'm going to turn off limit break. And you see maximum HP, 48,000. Strength, 4,800. Magic, 4,800. Those are the max attainable stats through questing. And here I'm just showing off, I'm attaining all max stats with limit break off. Not necessarily the best build to run, but it looks good, seeing all the yellow maxed out numbers. Now, with limit break on, you can ascend past these limits and you can reach like 9,999 strength, for instance. But that is purely based on gear. Your gear and your abilities and all that. But as far as I know, you can't obtain, you know, all 9s across the board. And here, this is what it looks like with limit break on. So you can see my magic is 7,200. Do you see how the various accessories can push you past that limit? The Devil's Earrings give me 9,999 magic. Max HP is 99,999. So your base stats when you initially start your playthrough are 2,000 HP, 200 strength, and 200 magic. And that's why all the stats you gain through questing are 4,800 and not 5,000. And the max stats you can obtain, as you just saw, is 48,000 HP, 4,800 strength, and 4,800 magic. So the stats essentially amount to 50,000 HP, 5,000 strength, and 5,000 magic. So for the total stat gain per run, it comes out to 380 HP, 30 strength, and 27 magic. And this is why you don't really want to do any extra quests than what I outlined, because you're only as fast as the slowest stat, which is magic. So here's some hypothetical estimates on exactly how long this would take you. And I decided to start at base stats, but it's not realistic because after your first playthrough and 100%ing the game, you're going to have a lot more progress into this. But working off base stats, I decided to round my run up to 14 minutes. It would take 178 runs to fully max out every stat, and that would put a total time investment of around 42 hours, but yeah, you can probably round that up to like 45 to 50. So it is certainly time consuming, but hey, if you're obsessive like me and you're looking for an excuse to listen to a lot of music, it is certainly a good time. I look back on it fondly. So I hope this guide helps you out and you reach max stats, and have fun. Thank you for watching.